Hello everyone, I am Gaurav from Vortex-RC, and today we are going to do a build of our Speedster EPP version 2. So the version 1 was this. This was the laminated version in which we had laminated the EPP foam and the plane was built. In the version 2 we have made a lot of improvements. We have removed the requirement for lamination. We have pre-beveled the Elevons and we have pre-cut the battery slot and servo cutouts. So hopefully that will help in building and will speed up the build. So today we have got a time clock here which will help us see how much time it will take for the build. We'll start with the full unboxing and we'll show you all the parts. The EPP V2 will come in a tough box, corrugated box. So let's start and open the box and see what all the kit contains. So there's one small part package and the main wing core. So we'll open the wings and then we'll show you what all the parts are there. So the kit contains two EPP main wing panels. These are contained in their wing cores. There's one left and one right wing panel. And the best part is that we have pre-cut the battery cutout slot, the ESC and the receiver slot, the servo slot, and also we have pre-beveled the Elevons. So this will help in building and speeding up the build. So both the wing panels are there. Then the carbon fiber strips are there. There are two strips which are long and one is shorter. So we'll tell you where everything will go. These are the push rods and these are the linkage connectors and one aeroply sheet which has the motor mount and the control horns, and this is the motor mount. Also included is the laser cut coroplast sheet which contains the skids which will be used for the build. So let's start the build and hopefully we'll complete this build in a matter of less than an hour. So we will start the build by joining the two panels together. So test fit to make sure the wings match up. If slight adjustment has to be made, that can be made at this point. Make sure the wings are flat on a table. And once we are happy with that, we'll add hot glue to the surface and then glue them. So here is our hot glue. Press tightly so that the wing panels are glued properly. So now the glue has dried. We will flip the plane and it is time to add spars to the panels. So the supplied spars, there are 3 spars. 2 are long and 1 is short. The 2 long ones will be placed on the leading edge and the short one will be placed at this position. So we will make a cut with a knife, and these parts will go in vertically like this, okay, and then we'll use cyanoacrylate glue to stick them. We'll repeat the same thing. Remember, the longer spar will be glued here. And the third spar will be put at this location. It can be put like somewhere here, and the same way we will cut the slit and insert it vertically. So the spars now are embedded. We will use cyanoacrylate glue to glue in the spars. And we will now leave this for the CA to dry, and after that we will install our motor mount. So this is our motor mount. Now in the motor mount there is a notch which is cut at this point. You can see one side is smooth, one side has a notch. The part which has the notch will be towards the top. So we have our wing inverted here, and the notch will go towards the top of the wing like this. So the motor mount will be glued like this. The width of the mount is 36 mm, and we will now have to slightly enlarge this cutout to make sure this fits in straight and true. So 18 mm we will mark from the center side. So we will now make sure that this is very nicely fit. There should not be any angle, so it should like be perpendicular to the main wing panel, and this should be perfectly centered as well. Now we will glue this motor mount with CA. It can be glued with hot glue also. Just make sure this notch cutout is towards the top of the wing. Now hold it tightly and let the CA fully cure, and then we will move forward. So we have got our servos which have been centered, and pushrod linkage connectors have been assigned, and we have put some extension also on the servos. Now these servos will test fit in the cutouts, and if some enlargement has to be done, it can be done also. And there's a slit also cut here where the servo wire will be installed. We will now use some hot glue to fix the servos. Our next step is to install the control horns and the pushrod linkages. So we will start doing this. So there is a mark cut out here. There only the control horn will be glued. So extend that line slightly. Then use some CA to glue the control horn to the Elevon. We'll repeat the same thing for the second wing panel. So our control horns have been installed. Our next step is to install the motor mount. This is the laser cut motor mount. It will be installed at this position. We will use hot glue to install this. We have our motor and ESC here. Next step will be to tighten the motor to the motor mount. So our motor has been installed here, and next we will install our winglets. These are the winglets. These are the two skids. So skids are given in a pair of two. These are two skids with fruits like this, and these are two skids with fruits like this. So we will make one pair each and use some CA to reinforce them. Now we will glue our winglets. So winglets will be aligned from the leading edge, and they will be extending towards the trailing edge, and we will use hot glue. Make sure you glue only to the wing panel and not to the elevon. Make sure elevon is not glued. We will repeat this for the other wing tip. Next will be to install the skids. So trial fit the skids. The skids will be installed at this location on both sides. Try to keep the skids perpendicular. Now our final step will be to install the battery, and before we put in the battery we have to make sure that it balances well, and our balance position is going to be 200 mm from this position, from the nose position. So we will just make sure that we mark our position 200 mm back from the tip of the nose. So in this case our spar is at 200, so that will be our CG point. So we will test the CG location, and in this case our battery is balancing with 1300 mAh. Yes, perfect balance. So we can see that this is being balanced here. So now we will install our battery plate. The reason why we do at this point is that in case we have to use a different battery, a bigger battery will need to be moved a little behind or adjusted, that can be done. So in this case everything is fitting. We'll do a trial fit here. So we install the battery strap here, and then we put glue on the ply, not on the battery strap. Bolo. Receiver. And we will glue the ESC on the motor mount, and just use one drop of So we now need to set the reflex on this. The reflex is set, the best way to set is that we'll give it full down trim, almost full down trim, and then we will level our elevons. Okay, and the same way we will do for this one. And now once this is level, we will give it neutral trim. So what this will do is that it will create a slight up on the elevons. Then we will test our surfaces. So up elevator, down elevator, up, down, left, right. Looks to be good. And we will check our mode thrust angle, thrust direction. One small thing, the propeller has to be installed so that the writing on the propeller is towards the nose. This is very important. And now we will test our thrust again. Okay, looks to be good. And just we'll do a pre-flight test of everything before we then take it to the field. So we have finished our build. It has taken us less than 45 minutes to complete the build, and now we are going to take it to fly, to do our maiden flight, and everything looks good. Hopefully everything will be flying perfectly. So before we launch, we will see the wind direction. The wind is coming from the front, so we will launch there. And in our pre-flight, we are just making sure that the CG position is at 20 centimeter from the tip of the leading edge, tip of the nose. Perfect flying, no trims are required. It's flying slow and smooth, just as a flying wing should. I'm coming in for a landing. So perfect. And absolutely no trims required. You can see here almost zero trims, and flies very nice.